today's segment, we're going to talk about the Sharkhide aluminum cleaner. We're going to talk about the do's and don'ts of usage. We're going to talk about some of the safety aspects of using the product, what you can expect out of it, what you can't expect out of it. Primarily, what we've done with this particular cleaner, our goal was to make sure it was a cleaner that could be used while still on your trailer. We wanted to make sure that anything used in this isn't going to harm your paint, your wiring, vinyl graphics, rubber on your tires, brake lines and such, which makes it a more expensive cleaner, but in return you don't have to worry about repairing any damage down the road. Also safe, we found that you can use it on grassy surfaces, concrete, things like that. What Sharkhide won't work on are mineral deposits, things like that. If you've got lime or calcium deposits on your boat, you're going to want to deal with that first. Same with things like dried up moss and algae. You can remove that with simple tap water and a little bit of elbow grease and save your money. Don't use the aluminum cleaner to rinse that away. What we like to see you do is start with a relatively clean hull, have all the, if it has any type of mineral buildup, make sure that's gone. We'll help you with that, by the way. You can call us and we'll walk you through the steps. If it's dried moss and algae, we'll teach you to get rid of that. But once you've got it done, what we do is we take our cleaner, and what we use to apply it with is a quart trigger spray bottle. We do not use any kind of large volume pump sprayer, and I'll get to that reason here shortly. But the ideal applicator would be your quart trigger spray bottle with an adjustable tip. The reason we don't use the large sprayers is this product, you don't require a high volume of this cleaner to achieve your goal. Like some of the other cleaners, you pump it on by the gallon. But when you do that with this product, you have runoff. It traces down the side of your pontoon. You're actually putting too much liquid on. When it traces down, it creates little grooves, little cuts, just like raindrops running down a windshield. So once you've got that track, now most of your cleaner wants to run into that track, run down the side, and that's where you see these vertical streaks that people create after they've used their cleaner. So what we do with this is we'll mix the cleaner in the bottle. We'll use roughly 3 parts water to 1 part cleaner. Put the cap on, and then we dial it down to the finest mist it can possibly produce. And that's how we apply it. Now what we do is we jump around on the boat from section to section. We only do roughly 6 feet to 8 feet of boat at a time. We apply this to dry aluminum only. We fan it on from the bottom up. And as I'll show you here in a minute, you never just point and start spraying. We use exaggerated sweeps back and forth and put a fine fog on it from the bottom up. And then once we've got that fog applied, once you see that mist, once you see the foam blanket show up, it creates a real dense foam. Once that appears, now you know that it's actually etching the aluminum, and all you do is stand and monitor that section for 2 or 3 minutes and then rinse it. Beyond that, the safety aspects of this. Now this is a serious cleaner, so you want to treat it with respect. Always, always, always use rubber gloves, preferably long sleeves, long pants, but I'm kind of skipping that today. There's a nice little breeze, I can keep that to my back, so I make sure that any kind of mist or fumes move away from me, and some form of safety glasses. That's a good move also. So I think at this point what we're going to do is mix a batch up, and we'll show you how it works. Alright, well, I've got my rubber gloves, got my bottle mixed up, I've got my glasses with me ready to go. So I guess we're going to give this a start. Now always keep in mind, work in no more than 6 to 8 foot sections at a time, because we want to prevent creating these streaks, and that way you'll be able to monitor it once this foam blanket gets created. So here we go. We apply to dry aluminum only, bottom up. Now you can see that layer of foam coming out of nowhere. As soon as this contacts the aluminum, you start to get your reaction. Now what we want to do, once that gets started, that layer of foam, we stop spraying. And you just watch it for a couple of seconds. So as it develops, you're going to notice some light spots in here, some spots that you're not getting that complete layer of foam. What you're going to do is you're going to come back and mist just those areas. Just the areas that are slow and still dark. Now once you've got that section under a complete layer of foam, you're just going to stand back and monitor for a couple of minutes. Ideally, 2 minutes is usually enough to handle this. Sometimes, depending on the severity of the boat, a little longer. But now you can see, I don't know if you can pick this up on camera, there's a couple of spots where the foam is starting to turn back to a liquid, starting to trace down. All we do is we come back to that area, hit it again, and here comes that layer of foam. So that's why we don't do the whole side, because you have to stand here and monitor this. And anywhere you see it, aluminum poke through, just give it a real quick fog again. Try to create a straighter line here for you. So normally we want to keep this under that dense layer of foam for about 2 to 3 minutes. So we've been at this possibly maybe 30 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what we get done after just a few seconds. When it's time to rinse, we always rinse from the top down also. And there's your finish. Now, there is a little bit of blushing here and there, and that will go away, especially if you allow it to work its full 2 or 3 minutes. But that's pretty much what you get. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go from here, from this dry section. We'll either jump to the other side of the boat, or we'll move down 6 or 8 feet and start again down there. But again, keep in mind, always dry aluminum, and you just hop around. Now, when you come back to do this section here, this will blend seamlessly. You won't see any start and stop seams. So when you do this section, once it's dry, it'll be one continuous uniform finish. And that's it. That's the Sharkhide aluminum cleaner.